I was recruited in the benefits industry by my dad in 2002. He was a successful broker in Utah and had a small practice here with a partner which they had been managing since the late 80s. In 2003, that practice merged with a larger organization that had several other brokers, and just prior to that, I had come in. I spent about a year running quotes for the brokers in that office and then writing individual plans. In 2004, I was hired into a new division with what they called the small employer department. I was representing a few dozen small groups as the primary point of contact for renewal, sales, and service. I eventually ended up managing that department until I left the company in 2009. In 2012, my dad and I started another benefits firm in Utah at a much smaller scale. We both had left the prior firm a few years earlier and had tried getting into the recruiting business, but found ourselves stepping back into benefits opportunities. So in 2012, we decided officially that we were back in benefits. Well, as I mentioned, the firm we started in 2012 was much smaller. We had hired another broker that same time period, and for many years it was just the three of us. In the prior firm, I had a lot of resources and mentors that I could lean on for support. When we were running our business, we didn't have any of those advantages, so we had to find ways to get more horsepower out of fewer people. One of our struggles that a lot of brokers can relate to is tied to our sense of value. A challenge with being a broker in any capacity is that your value is directly tied to the products you recommend. Everybody knows that healthcare costs are in crisis mode, and we knew that back in 2005 as much as we know it now. As a broker, you want to differentiate yourself by bringing real value. The challenge was that regardless of which market you operate in, the fully insured, self-funded, or even now ICHRA, you're still representing the products of a third party. And so if you assign your value to these products, which is the natural tendency, then your value is really out of your control. Added to that is the personal challenge that these products have several other brokers representing them also, so it makes it even harder to differentiate yourself. You start to feel like a commodity a bit, but you don't even have the benefit of price. What I wanted was a way to differentiate myself. I wanted to be successful and an indispensable part of my employer client's team, but I was struggling with knowing how to accomplish that in the market where I had no independent control over the product and price. Well, I started by getting out of my own head and into the employer's frame of mind. As a broker, I had always been focused on products and cost. I saw the management of those things as my primary responsibility. Now, there is some of that attached to the broker's role, but something that I learned through the recruiting business was that the number one fear of most employers is being unable to run their business because they can't get people to come to work. We're seeing that even more now with what's being called the Great Resignation. They are afraid of losing employees, and they are afraid of being unable to hire employees. I realized that my role as a benefits broker was to create effective and efficient benefit strategies that would help employers recruit and retain employees. In order to do this, I realized we needed better technology. It really isn't difficult to find cheaper health plan options. A phrase we used to have was, if your plan isn't the cheapest product on the market, then there's always a cheaper option. And that's true for any market, but the point I'm making is that employers weren't often asking for the cheapest product. They were asking for an effective and efficient product, something that allows them to be competitive in their niche labor market that is also efficiently priced. I began developing our quoting technology around 2016 to address these issues. We call it a quoting dashboard to give people a frame to comprehend it, but it's really a business intelligence solution for health plan analysis. The role of a broker is to understand the overall business objectives of their clients, and then to make strategic product recommendations that follow from those big picture objectives. A broker isn't the product, meaning they aren't the health insurance policies themselves. A broker is a consultant or a guide that helps employers manage this one part of their business in service of that big picture. That always means some mix of cost containment and benefits attractiveness, but Benefit Sculptor allows us to zero in by considering all of these factors at once. Yes and no. I had some exposure to statistical computing in college, so I was familiar with the power of computer programming to solve complex problems. I developed the prototypes initially, and I'm a capable full stack developer. The unique opportunity that this provides me is that in the case of benefits technology, I have a solid working knowledge of the business user and the use case that these products serve, but I also have the technical knowledge to work with the technical team to make programmatic decisions. So I'm able to bridge the gap between developer and broker. The one thing I can say is that when we claim that a broker built our technology, a broker literally sat down and wrote the source code and solved the primary business problems in code. I then hired some fantastic senior developers to take what I had built and turn it into a commercial quality product. Yes, the purpose of Benefit Sculptor is to serve other brokers. I realized that if it worked for us, then the community would be better served by putting this tool into the hands of more brokers/consultants. Today, I'm completely involved in benefits technology, i.e. Benefit Sculptor. We have broker clients in several states, and my focus is on serving technology and providing technical education online for brokers.